Minister for Resources in Northern Australia, Senator Canavan.
Thank you, Mr President, and I thank Senator Anning for that question and also for the advanced notice of it. And I do recognise Senator Anning's passion and commitment to develop water resources in Queensland and across Australia. We have abundant water resources in Queensland, Mr President, and it is unfortunate that there has been delays on putting forward or getting going on this very important infrastructure project for Central Queensland, the Rookwood Weir. It's now been 620 days, Mr President, since the federal government said that we were willing to put half the funds up to drought-proof Central Queensland, to create more than 2,100 jobs and potentially double the agricultural production in Central Queensland. Mr President, the Fitzroy Basin, where this weir is the second largest water catchment in our country, behind the Murray-Darling, and it has enormous agricultural potential. And we want to get on with the job of creating Australian jobs and growing Australian food for the people of Australia, for the people of Central Queensland. But the Queensland government wanted to do another business case, notwithstanding this has been looked at for 10 years, notwithstanding that Peter Beattie said back last decade that it would be built by 2011. The former Premier of Queensland said he'd build Rookwood Weir by 2011, but the Queensland government wanted to do another business case. So we had to wait for them to do that. That's been the reason for the delay. Well, the business case has come back, Mr President, and now, unfortunately, the price has gone up because of those delays, because it's gone on for a year and a half. The price has become more expensive. These are the costs of Labor inaction, Labor incompetence, Mr President, because they can never make a decision to get on with a job and create jobs for our region. Notwithstanding these delays, Mr President, notwithstanding the delays, we are committed to this project. We want to see it happen. We want to create opportunity for this country. We want to create opportunity for people in regional Queensland who have been suffering with a slow economy. We want to create jobs, and that's why we want to build dams around this country. We want to get on with the job of building and creating and using our natural water resources to create jobs and grow food.
Senator Anning, supplementary question.
How will Rookwood Weir deliver for regional Queensland?
Senator Canavan.
Well, thank you very much, Mr President. As I said in my answer to the first question, we create thousands of jobs, Mr President. In an area, in the Fitzroy area where this dam is, jobs fell by 10,000 last year because it's been tough economic times, and that's why we want to create jobs. It's why we want to build projects like this. It's why we're behind projects like this. But it's also a very important project, Mr President, to drought-proof Central Queensland. A study by the Gladstone Area Water Board released late last year showed that Rockhampton itself, a major city in Central Queensland, could run out of water from just one failed wet season. And if that was to happen, water would need to be trucked up from Gladstone. 600 B-doubles would have to be engaged to do that. It would cost nearly $500 million. There's a question mark whether it would be technically feasible. That's why we need to act now to avoid that circumstance. We need to get the Queensland Labor government to get acting so we avoid the worst happening in Central Queensland.
Senator Anning, final supplementary question.
Why does the Labor-Green alliance continue to stop the development of regional Queensland?
Senator Canavan.
Thank you, Mr President. Well, it's hard. Well, I thank Senator for that question. It's a bit hard for me to put myself in the mind of a Labor-Green alliance. I don't typically have thoughts along those lines. But can I say, Mr President, that it probably has something to do with things that are going on down in Melbourne at the moment, I think, Mr President. I think something along those lines is the reason for these delays because, we want to build dams, we want to get on with the job, but the Greens don't like dams. They hate them. They can't stand dams. There's never a dam they want built anywhere, except here in the ACT. They did vote for a dam in the ACT. They built a big dam in the ACT where they needed water for there. But otherwise, the rest of the country, we're not allowed dams. And because the Greens don't want to have dams, that means the Labor Party has to say they don't want dams. They used to. Bob Hawke built the Burdekin Falls Dam. Right back then, they built things. They used to build things in this country. But not anymore. Not anymore, because they're tired of the Greens. That means they will not build anything anywhere in this country.